Cade Otton, 67 targets, 47 receptions, 455 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Thoughts on Cade Otton?
Cade Otton's rookie year, his numbers were eerily identical, right? 65 targets and 42 catches his rookie season. The biggest difference, 2 more touchdowns. Went from 2 to 4 touchdowns. In half point PPR, his positional ranking went from 27th to 19th over 2 touchdowns.
Uh-huh.
So that kind of sums up how touchdown dependent a large part of this position group is. Now, I like Cade Otton as a streaming tight end. He's not a guy that I'm going to outright draft, even if I'm kind of sandbagging on tight end a little bit. So I'm not going to wait until, tight end 19 or 20 to make a selection. However, bye weeks, injuries, that type of thing. Cade Otton's a viable asset. Baker did look his way. He seemed to be in good rapport, but it's hard to compete with the likes of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and with what Rashad White did last year down there. But overall, I like Otton. He's got a nice tight end frame, right? 6'5", 247, coming into his third year, which is typically the full blossom year of a tight end, if you will. So there's a lot of things to, gravitate towards Cade Otton, if you will. But I do think that at least to begin the season, he's going to be a guy largely left on the waiver wire, and then he's going to be picked up and dropped multiple times through a handful of different league mates, especially in redraft single tight end leagues. But does have the skill set and the ability to make a difference and um, put up some solid fantasy points in week 9 against Houston, right? His best week of the season. But 9 targets, 6 grabs, 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, what's not to like about that? Just to have the ability to do that. But again, half his touchdowns came in that 1 week. Other than that, it was few and far between from Mr. Otton.
Yeah, he is kind of the epitome of a touchdown dependent tight end, right? Like that's kind of where he is, where he'll kind of be in the fantasy sphere there. But the one nice thing about Cade Otton was when he had favorable matchups, they showed out, right? Like he showed up, did well in those matchups, um, and really kind of performed there. So it was a little bit, yeah, maybe a little bit easier to call the shot on that one last year with him than some other tight ends. But again, right, like I think you've hit the nail right on the head where this is a guy that you don't necessarily have to go out and try and actively draft. He'll be there for you in the last round of your draft, be there for you on the waiver wire, things like that. And that's really kind of where I'd be looking to rock and roll with Cade Otton. It's just weekly streamer. And I think that you'll be all right if that's kind of the route that you go there.